Okay. Hey, everybody. So I'm back from a gig and a little vacation. Um, I was fortunate enough to play with the Dallas Symphony in Vail, Colorado. And I did the Princess Bride show again. And I thought I'd piggyback a little family vacation as well. So it was fun. Got to see mountains
Great.
and beauty and did a lot of hiking and did a lot of fun stuff, some whitewater rafting and all that. And And then meanwhile, I got the what I think is the final version of the book cover. You want to see it? That's it. So that's the book I've been working on. I basically I just told the designer, Bob Headland is his name. I just said, this book is essentially designed to systematically fill in all the gaps of people's technical and just different aspects of guitar playing. And he thought of the idea of a mosaic, and I thought it was perfect. It's filling in all the gaps, and when you zoom out, you get a picture of what it is, I guess. So anyway, I thought that was neat. And since I just got back from vacation, I played a gig on last Sunday, and I basically haven't, I didn't touch a guitar for 6 days after that. So would you be willing with me to do some vacation chops, undo some vacation chops via some raw technique exercises? You guys into that?
Let's talk about some century chops with me.
Nice.
Okay?
So
Yeah,
not just a week long vacation, but a century long vacation.
more or less. The brain has. But yeah, I'll be game.
All right, cool. So this is it's funny when Andy Wood did the clinic with us, and he got a lot of his fundamentals by learning tunes, and I love that approach. In fact, a lot of the guests I've had kind of share that sentiment that they didn't really do the sort of systematic thing. They filled in all their gaps by playing tunes, tunes that may have been, a little bit beyond their technical ability, and they just do it. You just work at it and do the repetitions, and eventually you get it. But I sort of appreciated the systematic thing. It's kind of like the sand the floor, paint the fence, the Karate Kid version.
Yeah.
He's like, when am I going to learn to punch? And I'm thinking like the punching is the playing the tune, and sanding the floor is the sort of raw, fundamental kind of stuff, right? So so I kind of feel like eventually those two approaches do have to collide. Eventually, if it's just raw tech, if it's just raw fundamentals without application, it becomes dry. And if it's just tunes without um, I guess you eventually could get it with tunes, but I kind of feel like in my view, they come together eventually. So here's just the raw technique stuff. So it's little words. Oh yeah, he also did this diagram that I got from based on the Nintendo Wii stats, where I think it's like balance, stamina, and speed or something like that. And I thought, hey, this is a neat graphic to talk about how you can link up your raw technique to your ear, to your mind, and your eye. And it's like the hand represents the raw technique, and your connection via the your ear would be the ear hand coordination, how you think about it, like getting ideas via theory and stuff like that. That would be the mind hand coordination, and the eye hand coordination could be either reading music or kind of looking at shapes, so the symmetry of the instrument. Um, but essentially, the hand is what creates the sound, what defines you as a player. So, like when you just play a single note, like C, Like you can play it with all the conviction and confidence that you have. Just, you can play it soft, you can play it loud. You don't really have to think about it. You just know it's like that's the note I'm playing, and it's all just your physical connection with the instrument, right? So when it comes to like multiple notes, like when you're living in the moment of like I have to play a tune or I have to play this, improvise with this sound or scale or whatever. You have to have that much conviction of all the notes and be so sure-footed that you can play with as much conviction and clarity that you want on any note, not just that one note. Does that make any sense? What I'm saying?
Yes.
Like when I hear Andy Timmons, like he just like when he hits that note, it's not necessarily loud or soft, but like the range of he just hits it with conviction and clarity. And so I think if you're sure-footed with your technical stuff, it just means your hand is working right. Now, if you're sure-footed with, like your other fundamentals, like where the triads are, where the scales are, and stuff like that, that just helps your hand hit all the notes with that same amount of clarity and conviction. I bet I could be a little more eloquent in my speech, but hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. So we'll just do like pure raw hand stuff for now. Do you have a question, Thad?
No, but if it's your pure raw, my hands are pure raw meat.
So let's get cooking.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So yeah, I said technique, raw technique is for good time, good touch, good tone, good clarity, good dynamics, finesse, speed, and tuning. I added tuning because that's one thing that some of the guests talk about. All right, so let's just go to raw technique. So here are the mathematical, the 24 possibilities with 4 fingers.
Yeah.
So you can do, 1, 2, 3, 4, stuff like that. You can either go across the neck or up the neck. Why don't you I don't know, Eric, just throw darts with your eyes and hit one of those patterns, one of those four-digit patterns. Like pick one.
I like to start it easy though, since this is my first time, so I'm gonna go.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, up and down. Pick a string.
High E.
E. Okay, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll just go. So what I'm just gonna keep my hand position very consistent, just up like that. So stuff like that. And you can find your limit with the metronome. You just turn on something like this. So this is very not musical, right? This is just our pure connection to the instrument in terms of, let's do 131. 1, 2, ready, go. And then since there's a delay, if you don't mind, just muting your own mic. I only have 21 frets on this telly. And we can come back down. I'm going to mute you, Eric. I'm sorry. Just because there's a little delay. All right, let's go. Let's see if we can do it. this might be a little convoluted, but triplets. So we're going to do 4 notes, but with triplets. So it's going to go. Is that weird? It's a little weird, right? Is it too fast? 1, 2, triplet. By the way, someone said if you want to tell if someone's a musician or not, ask them how many syllables in the word triplet. Triplet. Okay, so let me slow it down. This is 110. So so what we're doing is we're on the way to like atomizing this idea by, since it's a 4-note pattern, we're just going to do it as triplets. So we have to like be so sure-footed about the fingering order. Now this is an easier example because it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go. Does that make sense? And back down. Okay, someone else is here. Karthik is here. How'd you do with that one, Eric? Sorry, since I muted you, you have to unmute yourself.
I think I got it on the last pass. I think I figured out the timing and the feel on the last pass.
Nice. Nice.
But up to that point, I was just straight quarter notes. But then I figured out how to get it to swing. So I think I got it.
Cool. So does it make sense? Like one of the reasons why it's good to do this like convoluted time feel is it sort of makes your so it makes sure that pinky is in time, and then that third finger is in time, and then that second finger is in time. So it kind of like calibrates all the fingers if you're not like only doing the accent on beat 1 or something like that, the index finger. Let's try it on the let's see if we can try another pattern. I don't know, Thad, why don't you pick a 4-number pattern?
2, 3, 1, 4 looks pretty interesting to me.
2, 3, 1, 4. Okay. Trying to see where it is. 2, 3, 1, 4. 2, 3, 1, 4. That's a good one. Let's try it on the G string. So let's see if we can do. Let me put it back up to, let's see. It's 130. Just 8 notes. Ready, go. That's tough. It's tough at that, at that tempo, especially after vacation. I'm going to slow it back down to 110, and let's do triplets. 1, 2, ready, go. How'd you guys do? Sorry, it's probably tougher to keep up exactly what I'm doing because I only have 21 frets on this, and I went back down immediately. Let's do one more. Glenn, pick a shape or pick a pattern.
Sure. I'm just getting it on one. If I don't move, I'm actually getting it.
Okay.
So it took me this long to actually okay, the triplet part. Yeah, the triplet part. Yeah. Let's do 3, 3, 2, 1, 4. 3, 2, 1, 4.
3, 2, 1, 4. Okay. That's just basically just descending but just starting with 3. That's cool. So what we could do is we could try it across the neck. I'll show you the across the neck one. So you can go. Does that make sense? That's just on the 5th fret, right? With my index finger on the 5th fret. So 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2. These are just getting creative with the math, right? There's 24 possibilities. We can either go up or down. And these are the kind of things that you can do in front of the TV, if your wife will let you. Let's do 3, 2, 1, 4. Let's do it at 1:30. 1, 2, ready, go. Three, two, one. Sorry. That's weird. Let's try it again. 2, ready, go. 3. I messed up going up. Let me draw. Let's go down and up again for me. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. You can also do this other thing where it's diagonal. Or actually, let's first, before we do that, before I introduce another weird. Whoa, I don't mean to do that.
Is there any merit to doing 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2? Like doing 2 on one string, then going the second part on the other string?
Yes.
Any merit? Yeah.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any sort of creative limitation you can put on yourself, like you're basically finding your weaknesses. That's what you're doing. You're like, man, my third finger is really sluggish, or my pinky is really sluggish. So you can kind of fine tune your choices to do something that you're not normally good at, right? The goal, in my opinion, this is different than the Andy Wood approach, right? Andy Wood approach is like, hey, just if you play enough tunes, you'll eventually fill in all your gaps, right? Whereas this is kind of like very hyper focused on finding that gap and then filling it in a very systematic way. Now, you don't want to be here too long because it's not musical, but it will find the gap.
It's fun though. It's fun.
Okay,
It's
good.
Something
As long
I don't
as,
do this.
As long as
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Good. So it's funny. Like if you go see the comments on Instagram, there's like people who vehemently disagree, and people who
People hate
absolutely
you. People hate you.
No, look. I was just the messenger in this case. Like I posted that clip of Andy saying like, "Here's your fundamental. You know, what song are you going to play? You're practicing your ass off, and you don't know what song to play." Some people's like, well, it's fun. Like it's fun just to play guitar, and I'm like, that's valid. It just depends on like what the goal is. You know, it's like, are you going to be an entertainer for money, or are you just fulfilling your life with like a cool thing to do? You know, like it really has a lot of variety as to like why we do this thing, why we play this thing, right? Hopefully. I mean, it is nice to like be able to play stuff for money and then take a family vacation to Colorado.
Andy was thinking of it from a different point of view, because Andy is a professional.
That's right.
And so for him, it's like, am I getting all dressed up with nowhere to go? It's like, because he's a professional and he plays on huge stages and is really sought after. And a lot of us are just, doing learning and stuff like that. So he thinks of it in a different standpoint.
Yeah. And I admire like that approach in terms of like something to strive for. And he himself said that. He's like, I need to listen to that myself, because the goal is not for him is not just merely to be a good guitar player. It's also to like present good music to people that, especially the non-players. But anyway, let's get back to this non-musical stuff. All right. So you're saying, Glenn, like if you're doing like 2 different fingers like that, that's cool, really cool. We could try that. So it's 2, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2 on one string and 1, 4 on another string. So. Or like that. Just 3, 2, 1, 4, and then on another string, 3, 2. Or you can even skip a string. These all sound weird, right? They're not like necessarily musical ideas.
Yeah, but they sum up the motions your fingers are going to possibly be tasked with anyway, depending on the piece you're learning or what. It's not impossible that you will have that combination of fingers.
It's not impossible. That is exactly right. Right. Yeah. I mean, anything that you do technically is going to improve, like, your musical thing too. Yes. Yeah. So, right on. So I'm not having to convince anybody here in this room anyway. But if I put
Andy, Andy, who says he learned tunes, you got to consider, what did he learn? Bluegrass tunes. Practicing bluegrass tunes is actually, and I haven't practiced them enough. God, I don't know any.
There's a lot of chromaticism in that stuff too.
They're a lot more challenging than practicing scale sequences or these permutations, because everything's got to fall in a certain place musically and harmonically.
Yeah, like.
So So his kind of tunes that he grew up playing with, is like.
Oh yeah.
Different than others, or different than scale exercises.
Totally. Yeah.
I had a drill like when I was a long time ago that was similar to this, but I never sort of extrapolated it all out to all the finger patterns. But it was it would be a cool one to adapt this for, like a practice scale, where it's like starting like if I were in my 1, 2, 3, 4 primitive, the first one I picked. So it was, I don't know if you can hear me, but it was 1, 2, 3, 4 on the low E. Then it was 2, 3, 4 on the A string. Then you would double up the A string. So it was basically an alternate picking exercise.
Do it again. Do it again.
So I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it would sound kind of like this.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all just 1, 2, 3, 4.
But
okay.
Then you just double up each string.
So was it like this?
Yes.
Like that?
great little exercise.
Yeah.
Great little exercise.
You can add, so there's, yeah, that, now if you do it as triplets, what it just adds another element of surprise in your hand, right? Because if you're only like changing gears on your index finger, then you might find when you're actually improvising that, like, if you have to change on the second finger or third finger or something like that, it might trip you up just a little bit. But putting it as triplets, I guess it like trains your body to allow the possibility of like emphasizing a pinky or emphasizing a second finger or emphasizing a third finger, like not getting stuck only emphasizing the index finger. So that's like, I love the sort of convoluted thing, take something basic and convolute it to just trick your body just a little bit. I mean, there's always ways to make stuff more complicated, but no, I appreciate that. Thanks for sharing that, Eric. That was cool. So if we do, I mean, we could spend all day on just like one of these exercises, the different ways we can do it. Check this one out. So this is another exercise I thought was neat. And it's in the book. They're called speed calibration exercises. So it's one thing I saw Yngve talk about in an interview. Yngve Malmsteen. He's like, what did you do to work on technique? And he just like, stuff like this. He just kind of flippantly threw that out there, and I'm like, holy crap, that's actually a really good exercise. What it is you try to do something in your left hand that's, just hammer-ons and pull-offs. And this particular exercise is just, I'm thinking of it like, you can think of it like A minor. So when I say A minor, I'm introducing that mind-hand coordination. I'm thinking like, how can I apply it? I'm just thinking, right. Doesn't have to be A minor, but that's one way you can sort of think about it in order to attack that idea quicker, So anyway, it's just this hammer on and pull off, and see if you can do it as fast as you can. Maybe it's something like that. And then introduce the pick. See if you can pick as that fast. Keep up. My forearm is starting to burn just a little bit. So if that happens, just rest. I'm not a huge fan of like immediately doing the stretching thing. I think it's better to deflate your muscles. Anyone have an opinion on this? Anyone get that? And where you're doing like a certain technical thing, and then your arm starts to burn. You guys do that? Jeff, how do you alleviate that?
A couple things. Remember before.
By the way, Jeff works in the medical field, so that's why I'm asking.
If you stretch your arms out.
This is before, right? Before you're playing?
And you just lift your hands up slowly, you're going to feel a stretch in your forearms, and you're going to feel it throughout your hand. And if you kind of like spread out your fingers a little bit slowly, don't try to hurt yourself. But just sit there and just get a nice little stretch, and you'll feel it. And then you can kind of just move your hands through there. And then another nice thing to do.
I love this one. Yeah. You do this one, right? So you're basically stretching these tendons, yeah. Yep. So you're talking about like before you start playing, you do this stuff, right?
Yeah, I'll do that, and then like really quickly, what I like to do is I'll ball up my fist and then release it, just to get the blood flow. Because if you guys ever started playing guitar before and your hands are cold and you can't do anything, you're just like when you're trying to play. So that's a nice thing to do. And I've done this before when I've been playing gigs. There was times when I was young, you're playing, it's freezing outside, you're moving your gear in. Next thing you know, you're in this bar, you're in this place, you're not eating anything, you're gonna have a drink, your hands are cold, and you're like, oh man. So you like go to like sit them underneath like thing, you don't have any hot water, so you have to sit there and figure it out. So you're like sitting on there, like putting your hands underneath your armpits, doing all this. So I found that if I kind of like did this and just kind of kept my hands going and just like got the blood flow going, that it helped me, and then I could stretch out a little bit, and then I was good to go. I mean, it wasn't like perfect, but it was a lot easier than going on cold and like really struggling.
Yeah. All right. So to that point, like I'm glad you brought this stuff up, because I wasn't really gonna talk about this, but I love that too. So he mentioned the stretching your arms out and then lifting your fingers like this. So here's another thing, like do the little circles one way and then the little circles the other way. And if you really stretch out your fingers, you can kind of feel that your fingers start to just kind of move just a little bit. You notice that? Like it sort of, I don't know, does something with the tendons or whatever. So I wonder if, like you don't want to feel pain, right? But like you can, yeah. If you lift up, is that bad? Like you just don't want to feel pain, right?
Yeah, I'd be careful with that. I mean, when you're stretching, you're going to hear different people say things. But the one thing that I've always noticed about stretching is you never want to go too far. You never want to hold it where it's painful. You just want to slowly warm up. It's supposed to be a warm up. You're supposed to try to loosen yourself up. Everybody's going to have different levels of being able to do something, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not a very flexible person, you might not be able to like move your hands around as much, you know?
Here's another thing that, I mean, Jeff, you might be able to shed some light on this. I heard that there's a muscle that goes from your neck all the way down, like inside, like underneath your rib cage. It's called the scalene, and you can kind of feel it. Like if you go like, not as far as your the trapezius, but like a little bit before, like it's in your neck. And if you push in, you kind of feel that like it releases all the way down. And have you heard of the scalene?
Point kind of thing almost.
Yeah. So what's funny is like, you ever felt like there's like tension in your back, in your upper back? If I push down on that scalene, and if I just like, it feels weird at first, but you just kind of push it down, and then eventually it kind of releases the pressure in the back of my shoulder, and helps me relax, helps my arm relax.
Yeah, one time I was playing a gig and we were playing a pretty fast tune, and like my shoulder like tightened up on me, like almost like cramped up, and it was like really hard to like make it through it. And I did, and like I was like kind of like moving my arm around. And Tremor was like looking at me like, "What the hell are you doing?" It's like I had to tell him, I was like, "Man, like my whole like arm like kind of like clenched up on me."
Yeah, how'd you get out of it?
Nothing. I just played through the pain, and then
did you do that?
I went and like, yeah, I went and stretched out for a little bit and like drink water and stuff.
Eat a banana.
Yeah, right.
Jeff, is that related to having straps that are not really ergonomically comfortable, that can actually mess with that area?
Yeah, I think it might have been, because I had like a crappy strap on that gig. I do remember that, because it wasn't I normally wear like comfort straps when I play.
I do too. I can't wear regular ones anymore, or otherwise my hand will go numb after a while.
Yeah.
So anyway.
You know, to that point, I was just curious if, like, practicing standing up versus practicing sitting down. Do you guys experience a difference in your body? I feel like I found a good happy medium, and tell me what you think of this. Here, I'm gonna take Jeff off of the big screen here. All right. So, can you guys hear me? My mic's not as let me see if I can move that mic. All right. So if you can see that I have the guitar neck at a probably like a 45-degree angle from my chest. And so that when I'm playing my guitar, my hand is like more like in front of me rather than beside me. Do you guys play like that? So when I'm doing this, it kind of has the same posture. The way my hand hits the neck is the same angle as if I'm sitting down. So, but the only difference is when I'm sitting down, it's maybe a little closer to me just because of where that round part sits, but it's not that different. You know, I'm not a huge fan of like putting the guitar real high because it just looks so dorky. I love I can't do it as low as James Hetfield, which is the coolest, but that's kind of in the middle. What do you think? Anyone have any thoughts on that?
Well, if you do wear the strap too low, what you wind up doing is pinching a nerve.
Well, okay. Here's the thing.
That's where my numbness started.
Here's the thing with that.
I was cool, man. I was really cool, man.
So you're pinching a nerve because you're doing this, right? You're bending your wrist.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me what you think of this. If it's too okay, so like if I do it low, and if you do this, if you move the guitar like in front of you, your wrist can flatten out a little bit. So the lower you go, I have to push it like that way. It's kind of like
never tried that. I don't know if I'd be able to.
Yeah, I probably couldn't do it too low. Yeah, that's right. Like if it's really low, like if you want to use your pinky, then you're gonna have problems. You know? Like if it's real low, I guess it's okay if you don't use your pinky. You know, but
the spatial recognition bit too, be kind of weird.
All right, so here's another like raw, just sort of warm up thing that I like to do recently, and that is to stretch the webbing in between my fingers. If I just kind of like stretch the skin just a little bit like that, or that. It gives me like, I feel like I have more power in my stretches. And here's another thing you can do if you want to be a little bit more like intentional about like, this is one where I have to maybe give a disclaimer. Don't hurt yourself. But here's how to do it. So you put your palm over your kneecap or on your leg, and you put 2 fingers on either side of your kneecap, and then you bend your knee, and it kind of even more like stretches the skin in between the 2 fingers. You can try it with the different 2 fingers. You don't want to feel pain in your bones or tendons. Just stretching that skin. Especially with the box stuff, I feel like if I have a lot of like range of motion, I can get to these all the shapes that I need to get to quicker and more efficiently. Like that. That's quite a stretch. I can get there more legato as opposed to like, I could get there by shifting, but like sometimes I don't want to shift. I want to be able to like hammer on, far away. Anyway, So, yeah, that's the kind of like sort of physical exercise stuff you can do. So let's go back to this thing. Okay, and then maybe, oh yeah, so that's just the first line. The second line just does the second finger like that. Maybe try it as fast as you can. That's not super clean. Post vacation shops. Okay. The next one.
You know, can you explain to me how you were counting that?
I was doing okay. Yeah, that was triplets. So
that was triplets, but then how are you subdividing with your right hand?
I was doing triplet with the down, up, down, and then the next triplet was going up, down,
basically picking
up.
Every note.
Yes. Here, let me zoom in so you can see. So I was doing down, up, and then up, down, up for the next triplet. So let me put it on the metronome. This is 110. So, and then pick. You know how drummers spin their sticks? Sometimes I'll spin that pick.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Now here's another one that is just similar to the other stuff we were doing. You know, just the digital patterns. You know, in this case, it's 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 2, 3, 4. So it's just so. It's actually a lot harder to get this even than you think. This is actually a lick in jazz a lot, bebop, you know. Right. But anyway, just 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1. It's really difficult to get that really even. Does anyone experience that? Try that. It's hard, right? Can anyone do it perfectly? Anybody? Thad, are you good at that lick?
I tell you what, once I start doing these particular kind and get, if I start to feel this getting stiff, it's time to stop.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and as I started to feel that.
Oh no! Okay.
But I had to turn on the lights. Totally chromatic.
Yes, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, and back up. So 4, 3, 2, 1, and then back up.
I have never tried this.
It's really hard. It's really difficult to get it super in time, isn't it? So, and one of those things where to get it really in time with just hammer-ons and pull-offs, you'll be surprised that, like, you know, sometimes people have like a really like a rushing ring finger, or, you know, or maybe a rushing pinky or something like it. They'll Yeah. What do you think, Eric?
So are we picking twice? We're picking on the
no picking at first. No picking at first. It's all just hammer-ons and pull-offs. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Because the pickings where it gets hard for me. Because if it's just but
well,
cool.
well, the ultimate goal, ultimate goal is and then introduce the pick. Ah. That was an okay one. That the very last one. You know, where you find your limit on your left hand and then see if your right hand can keep up. Sometimes your right hand can go faster than your left hand in time, you know, or sometimes like just as an example, like this is really hard to get in time. Now, if like one finger rushes or drags, when you introduce your pick and say your picking is in time, you're going to get a flam on that one note. It's going to go, you know, something like that, like where they're not lined up exactly. You know, they're not calibrated. Jeff, how are you with this one?
I'm a little bit different because I do the West thing, but
that's right. Yeah, you gave up the pick. Gotcha. All right. Now Wes would do sometimes like down and up, right?
They try to say that, but there's no real super evidence of that.
Really?
Like for most of it, yeah, not a whole lot.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was a disputed fact.
You know, it's mostly like a rhythm thing, so it's like a bass player kind of feel.
Gotcha.
It's like if you got like.
Maybe he uses it to mute. Gotcha. Okay.
It's just like more stuff like that, you know, like more hammer on pull off and more economy thumbing, I guess you could say. For me, it's about trying to make sure that I stay in time and swing really, really hard with the music.
All right. So let's see if we can come up with an exercise for you. Okay. So if we do triplets or maybe just downbeats. Try that one. Go ahead and unmute yourself. So try it just the left hand only. See if you can get them evenly as triplets. Triplet, 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 triplet. So I'm trying to get all of them even as triplets.
To get that timing right there with that quarter note.
So then you got a downbeat on the pinky and a downbeat on the index finger. All right, work on it. It's a lot harder than you think.
Really hard.
Yeah.
I'm still not grasping when you're doing a straight like 4 chromatic thing with no pick moves.
Oh.
Where's the where are we getting the first note in the sequence? Like, how do you make that pot?
Okay, I'm starting on that pinky, right? I just
Okay.
I'm exaggerating the movements, but
and
I'm trying not to like pull away too hard, too far. I want to be relatively close, so you have to like find the balance between like how far are we moving, and versus like how much pressure, how much attack you can put on the hammer on, and how much sort of like pull you can do with the pull off. When I'm pulling off, I'm just kind of doing a little sideways motion, but here's just acoustically, so you can kind of hear how hard I'm hitting, Burn. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does now. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then. Thad just left. Okay. And then the same pattern, but 16th notes. So this is where, Jeff, this might be interesting for you, because what this is going to do is it's going to calibrate those 3-note movements, because now instead of just triplets, it's the same fingers, but it's 16th notes. So it's 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and. Does that make sense? So now it sort of forces your hand to get them even, See if I can do it with the metronome. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. It's a lot harder than you think to get it really even. One, two, three. Yeah, I suck right now. I think I need to really work on this. Post-vacation chops, okay? So I'm just doing, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, pick, 1, 2, 3, hammer, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, pick. Does that make sense, what I'm doing? It's hard. but you want to make sure you can do it like at different tempos. That's too fast. Sorry. I'm gonna try it at 170. Diddle, 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 diddle. Ah. I should turn my delay off. See, it's not totally calibrated. But anyway, that's something you can work on. Does anyone have any more questions on this one? Is it clear, this last one, what I've done?
I have a question about your amp settings and your pedal settings when you're playing something like this. Like, what do you keep on? Like, how do you set this up so that you get the most out of this exercise without, say, relying a bit on the sustain from some component in the chain?
That's an excellent question. Yeah, because when you play with a lot of distortion, you can get away
it's
with
much
it.
easier, right?
Yeah. I tell you what. I may have had a more dogmatic answer like a few years ago, but I think if you enjoy how you sound, you're going to enjoy practicing. So try to sound good. Do whatever you want. I think. I might change my answer tomorrow. But as of right now, I think just you want to be encouraged when you're doing this kind of stuff. You want to be like, "Hey, I'm sounding good," right? Because that's really the goal. You want to make good sounding notes at the right time, because they're really that's all it is. It's just notes and it's time. So
don't listen to him, Karthik. If you go over there, he's gonna make you play through an amp with no pedals at all, and you're gonna be practicing with your pedals the whole time. You're gonna get in front of him. You're gonna be like,
oh man, I'm sorry, dude. Really? Is that?
I'm just kidding.
That's funny.
No, but honestly, if you really want to get the most out of it, you should really do it on like a clean channel. It's not fun, and you don't have to do it forever. But if you do it on a clean channel, it'll force you.
The thing is, I've done this on acoustic guitar too, and when the strings are old, I hate playing. It's like walking uphill in mud. It's just not fun to play. And I change the strings, and it's like, wow, it just zings. Everything just kind of plays itself. So I think it's way more fun to play like with new strings with a good sound. Like where you're actually enjoying what you're doing. Whether it's clean or dirty, I think that's less important than just like what you do. Your guitar is obeying your hands. With old strings, it's not going to happen. Do you find that, Jeff?
Yeah, you know me. I like the Tomastic strings, but I also don't use any effects. So I'm biased because I only plug directly into an amp. I don't use any effects at all.
I think if you're enjoying your sound, whether it be clean or dirty, just as long as you're enjoying the sound and you feel like your guitar is obeying your fingers, then I guess at first you don't know if it's you or the guitar, so you want to at least eliminate the variable of like, oh, my sound sucks, then you can blame yourself when it's not happening. All right, so can you think of more patterns? How about these? 1, 2, 4. So it's basically backwards. Or 1, 3, 4. and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, which is basically backwards that we did before. What's funny is these strings are pretty old, but they're not terrible. But I find like when I put new strings on, this stuff is way more fun to play because like I think when you have all the chimey overtones, it just every little movement, you know, your guitar just obeys you. It's like driving a sports car, as opposed to a sluggish. You know, you step on the gas and it's like finally goes. You know, what is this one? 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. How about that? You know. Yeah, it's basically the same thing, just displaced a little bit, just displaced rhythmically. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, right? 3, 1, 4. What's that one like? Same thing, displaced. Yeah. So a lot of this stuff. Okay, so here's the goal. Look at this. Find your weakness. How about doing it on other strings? Don't forget to relax if your hands start to feel fatigued. You should only do this if your hands feel relaxed. I should put that in bold because I don't want to get sued. No, I don't think I could get sued. Could I get sued for telling people to practice and then they hurt themselves? You're nodding your head.
I think so.
You think I could?
Yeah.
Somebody out there would probably sue you. Yeah.
What? You're in Connecticut, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you could probably get sued in Connecticut, but I don't know.
I have an app now. It's like a lawyer on retainer now. So like if I have yes, literally.
Well, you teach driving school, so that's a little more.
Yeah. Well, I got crazy people, parents and stuff. But just in case, I have it on retainer. Just like it's an app.
That's smart.
Lawyers have apps now. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I could just imagine like, yeah. Well, let's not go there. Okay. Disclaimer, everybody, don't hurt yourself. Okay. If you start to feel fatigued, relax. And you know, Thad knew to just chime off. So, actually, he probably put something in the chat. What did he say? Oh, he goes, he's turning into, what does he say? My coach just turned into a pumpkin. See you guys soon. This was great, Noel. Thanks. Okay. It's not like you'll be hearing from my lawyer. All right. So check this out. Brainless shifters. I've kind of codified like that, those, you know, random numbers. This is brainless stuff. Well, you can do while watching TV. It helps improve an intuitive, tactile relationship with your instrument and finger independence. So I actually had one of my college professors, Richard Smith, who teaches at USC. Amazing player. He actually taught me some of this stuff. He called it Star Trek shifters because Star Trek, you know, is a TV show. And I just turned it into brainless shifters. And I changed them a little bit, so I'm sort of using his idea, but I'm changing it a bit. So you can take any one of those and just move them either up or across. And Eric, you chose 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what this is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, but it goes 4, 3, 2, 1 when it goes back. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then shift and go 4, 3, 2, 1. Whatever. And you can try it standing up too, you know. Make sure So again, brainless shifters, stuff you can do while watching TV. And then you can do it across. And this is one I heard called the caterpillar, because it's like, you know how like an inchworm moves? You can think about it like you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you only move one finger at a time. Like that. You guys ever tried to do that? And when you come back, like there's always at least, 3 fingers touching the fingerboard. So that stops your fingers from flailing like that. Does that make sense? Try that. Let's try. So I have it starting on the 5th fret. Let's see here. Let me slow it back down to 110. How about this? 1, 2, ready, go. Sorry. We're doing 16th notes. So let me slow it. Actually, I'll slow it to 60. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And then come back down. You might need to slow that one down, because it's really a mental exercise. Like usually when people do that, they'll shift all of them. They'll do this. They'll lift up all their fingers and go to the next string. But really the goal is to like keep everything down. It's a mental exercise. Like, no, stay there, fingers. And this will train your fingers not to do the flailing thing. And if you don't flail, you'll just be more efficient in your movements. One of my first guitar teachers, he was able to like fly around the neck, and it didn't look like his fingers were moving at all. So I held that to be a very high. His skill was held in very high regard. His name is David Holmes. David Holmes in Sydney, Australia. Anyone heard of him? Amazing player. He played on a bunch of like the Hillsong stuff, like a super famous like Australian CCM stuff. Anyway, David Holmes is an absolute shredder, and you see him play, and it's like his hand is just gliding around the neck. So he was one of my first guitar teachers, and I was like, man, I want to be like that guy when I grow up. So this is one of those exercises that helps you do that. Okay, so next, this is you can do 4, 3, 2, 1. Now this one is a little tougher to not flail, because but you want to be able to do that to where you don't lift up too high. You just kind of like 4, and then after you lift up the 4th finger, you kind of keep it poised, kind of not too far away from where you're going next. You can turn it into a chromatic scale if you want to by introducing some shifts. So if you go 4, 3, 2, 1, and then shift. All right, see you, Eric. I'll send this stuff. This stuff will be accessible on the school site. I'll just upload the video and the materials so you can check it out later. Okay. Cool, man. See ya. By the way, you guys know this chromatic scale fingering? So you go 4, 3, 2, 1, and then shift. 4, 3, 2, 1. When you go to the G string, you don't have to shift. You just stay there. And then shift, 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 and then shift. There's 2 octaves. And when you go up, it's the same way. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, shift back, shift back, shift back, no shift, shift back, and then shift for the root. Does that make sense? Anyone ever practice a chromatic scale? When I was trying to learn bebop. There was a guy who was a senior and I was a freshman. I'm like, how do you add chromaticism to your bebop lines? And he goes, I don't know, I play chromatic scale. So here's bebop. I had a buddy who called it the bebop whole tone scale. It's a whole tone scale with a chromatic passing note in between each note. You got it? It's not written down here, but I should. All right, then here's also this other way you can play it. This 1, 2, 3, 4. But I should mention that you can do any of these patterns this way. But this particular example is just 1, 2, 3, 4 diagonally. So you go like this, and then move it. And then swap. You can either do it by sweeping, I'm going down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 and then up. What do you think of this one, Glenn?
Evil. So you're going...
Evil? You said evil?
Yes. So... Do you listen to Primus at all? This is like very Primus.
It totally sounds like a Primus tune, doesn't it? Yeah. No,
yeah.
This is purely... Okay, the origin of this idea is purely mathematical. It's not musical. But it kind of forces an issue, right? So... But yeah, but you could say like, hey, this could be a musical thing, right? Which is, a Primus example. Or just staying on 2 strings. Or you could try alternate picking. That would be a really difficult thing to do. That's tough for me because I don't normally do this like the pure cross string alternate picking thing like a mandolin player would do. But there it is. It kind of forces the issue if you want to work on it, Jeff, if you did it with your thumb, you could work on it.
Yeah, I was working on it because it's kind of like a messed up, like diminished almost sounding thing.
Yeah. Yeah, how about backwards like this? Like if you were to think of it as like actual music, it's a series of tritones, tritone, octave, tritone, tritone, octave, tritone. But that one's not. That one you could think of that as like if the A is in the bass, that's like
that right there sounds to me like
it's an A13 sharp 9. Yeah. By the way, Mike Stern. Mike Stern. We're just it's not set in stone yet, but there's a good chance that Mike Stern's going to come over here to my house in November.
Sorry, I'm not muted. I didn't say something else.
Yeah, and Mike Stern might be here. We'll play some tunes, and he'll be a guest in our class.
Dude, you get to hang out with Mike Stern.
Yeah, isn't that cool? But it looks like it might be on a Wednesday though, so it'll be.
I'll be free. I'll be here.
Okay, cool. So anyway, he does this chord.
Just so you guys know, Mike Stern played with Miles Davis, right?
Yeah, he played with Miles. A13 sharp 9. Diminished. Anyway, so yeah, you can use that lick if you want, but maybe not. All right. You could also do any other pattern. Glenn, pick one of these. We're gonna do it diagonally.
2 1 4 3.
2 1 4 3. Okay, so 2 1 4 3. 2 1 4 3. Sounds terrible. That's a terrible choice. Okay, pick another one. Actually, before we move on, let's do 2 1 4 3 backwards. Nope, still sounds terrible. This is maybe beyond Primus. It just it's even too ugly for Primus. What do you think? 2 1 4 3. 2 1 4 3 2. Okay, pick another one. Karthik, why don't you pick one?
3 4 1 2.
3 4 1 2. Okay. Still ugly. Actually, that one's kind of cool. Ooh, that's interesting. Backwards. 3 4 1 2. Ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, that's weird. That's a minger chord, by the way. You know what a minger chord is? It's a minor and a major. At least there's a major chord there. Okay, Jeff, you pick one. Darts with your eyes.
4 2 3 1. And can I also make another declaration of something I just figured out?
Go ahead.
The Barry Harris method of looking at a G7 diminished is pretty much just mixo flat 6 with your major modes. It's the same. It's all the same thing. They're all right there. Sorry. It was just something I noticed. I've been looking at it. I've been trying to understand it. I don't know.
So mixolydian flat 6, mixed with major.
Yep. And then if you throw in the F sharp.
Well, except so mixolydian has a flat 7 in it though.
Yeah. But it does a chromatic thing.
Well, isn't the Barry Harris thing?
Yeah, so it does. It'll go F sharp to a G.
Well, that's the beep. That's the dominant bebop scale.
Yes.
Barry Harris did the major bebop scale.
Well, he's got that too, the C6 in the A minor thing. This is another one of the scales.
Oh, it's another one?
Yeah, it's a G7 diminished, and I just figured it out.
Oh, he has a G7 diminished? Okay.
Yeah. He also has a minor 7 flat 5 one, which I'm going to learn.
So he did.
Yeah, so it'd be like G to get.
So it's basically a like.
I don't know. I thought it sounded kind of cool.
Okay. I only knew the sixth diminished that he did.
Yeah. That's the C. That's the 6 diminished. That'd be like a C6 equaling A minor 7.
Yes. Yeah. So the well.
So the way I look at it is, I think it was like chords. So I just see it as like a bunch of A minor 7s.
Yep.
It's like
Mixed with D diminished. Yeah. So you
like
got.
if you look at like what is it like so you can go like. And now I'm just using all those different inversions I already learned by doing all my drop twos, but it made it more fun by throwing the diminished in there too.
Yeah.
Because then it gives it like the extra flavor.
Totally.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well, it's a really neat method, but wholly changes subject, Batman.
That's why I said on a different declaration. I said it before I did it. I was excited. I just figured it out.
I like it though. I like the diversion. But all right. So
Okay, but anyway,
pick-
so what
pick-
I was saying is
pick-
I wanted to do 4, 2, 3, 1.
okay. I like that chord. This chord is actually really beautiful. You can go like imagine you're doing you're in F. Okay, so this F is the root. Imagine you're doing this. I like that. I'm resolving from that to that. It's cool, right? Basically borrowing from A harmonic minor there. Anyway, so 4, 3, 2, 4, 2, 3, 1, right? Ooh, that's ugly. This is you can think of it in A 13 flat 9. So that I'm introducing the mind-hand coordination thing here because right now we're multitasking 4 different fingers. And thinking of 4 individual things takes up a certain amount of brain bandwidth, right? But if you can chunk those things together as a single unit of thought, and this only comes with repetition and time, but if you can do this association where it's like, oh, I know that chord. That's the top 4 notes of an A 13 flat 9 chord or something like that, right? Or you can think of it as a minder. This is another minder chord. There's a F sharp minor, F sharp major and an F sharp minor. It's a neat party trick, right? Here's another good use of that. If it's F sharp minor, you can think of it as like an F sharp blues. Sounds like a blues lick, doesn't it? That's that one. All right, thanks for that one, Jeff. Reminds me of that cool sound. And then this one is, I think of this one as an F, like a minor major 6, or like a minor major 7, but with a 6th in there as well. So you can, it's actually like an inversion of this chord, E7 flat 9. If I move the F down to E, and then the E up to F, that's that. And then it's actually like a D diminished with a second. So you can think of it like this, you know. A D diminished triad, but with an E in there as well in a second. So you can go.
Lydian flat 7, yeah?
Say that again.
B flat, Lydian flat 7. B flat in the bass.
You could, yes, you could do that too, for sure. It doesn't have a B flat in there, but
we can pay somebody to pay a B flat.
Yes, that would be adding a 5th note in there. Yes, you could totally. It could totally work. So this by itself, you could also like isolate it by like if you do the D diminished with an added second. Isn't it amazing that just like a little fingering idea can kind of send you to this path? Here, let's go do this. Where is it? This thing, not the dice. I'm going to do 1, 2, minor 3rd, flat 5. That's the this set. 17A in the 4-note universe book. You can kind of see where it fits, and as you pointed out, Glenn, it does fit the melodic minor. There's one of the places it does fit. So if you think of D as the 6 of melodic minor, then we're basically treating this F as a melodic minor chord, right? So you can do anything, you can add any bass note that exists in F melodic minor. This is the kind of thing where I love adding the element of the looper pedal. So if I do this, so that's the 1 of melodic minor, F, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the a 7, E altered. Okay. How about if one of these other ones? How about the 4 of harmonic minor? So if D is the 4 of a harmonic minor, then we can do stuff from A harmonic minor. It's all a lot of tension notes, but there it is. Neat, right? Anyway, this is a little bit more like the sort of compositional element of what started off as just pure raw technique. So, I think it's neat to like allow yourself the freedom to explore if a certain sound intrigues you. It started with randomness, just the mathematical idea. When, what was it? 4, 2, 3, 1. Is that what you chose, Jeff? Is it this one right here? 4, 2, 3, 1. Yeah. So that's it. So that's across the neck. We really only got to those pages. I mean, there's more pages in the technique chapter, but is that enough for today? Yeah, it's.
How are you going to promote your book? Just on Instagram and all that?
I guess so. How do you think I should promote it?
Naked. Run naked somewhere.
Oh,
get arrested. Arrested.
I thought you said make it, but you said naked.
No. Yes, get arrested, and then
naked on a billboard. That's funny. That is funny. I had a friend that he did a big band record, and he's like he wanted to promote it, and so he decided he would go live up on a billboard until David Letterman invited him on his show. And he was there for several days, and it was in winter, and he got sick. So he came down, and David Letterman heard about it, apparently, and just said, no, I can't do that because then they'll get other crazy people to do crazy things just for me to have them on their show, on my show. So anyway, he didn't want to set a bad precedent. All right, so I'll upload. I'm kind of working on the introduction still. It's like I don't want to be too up myself, but I wanted to get the point across that like fundamentals are important. I found this interesting quote. I'm not like a huge sports fan, but any guys basketball fans? One of the most winning basketball coaches of college basketball, John Wooden. Any guys recognize that name? He was meticulous about teaching fundamentals. He said, the team that has the best command of the fundamentals, passing, catching, dribbling, shooting, and defense, will usually win. Another successful coach named Tom Crean said, game plans win games, but fundamentals win championships. I thought that was kind of neat. The boring stuff. If you're good at like if you're really, really good at the quote unquote simple stuff, I think you'll sound really good. So this pure technique stuff is just like one element of it, and you can of course get it with tunes too, but the whole idea of like isolating this, isolating it to where that actually feels good, has good time. That's like maybe one little tiny element of a tune somewhere, like in a Charlie Parker transcription or something. And you're like, You know, you can kind of skate by it if it's just like if you just play the whole thing. But you're like, wait a minute, I really need to get this really even. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to do some repetitions with this, you know. That's my favorite one. Okay. I'll see you Monday. No, today's Monday. I'll see you Thursday. Let me just make sure. My brain's not all together. We may have a guest on Thursday. A really good player who's actually a friend, and he's local. His name is Leo Sines. He's a really amazing musician that didn't do the school thing. So we're going to get another perspective on how he got his thing. But he's got a lot of really cool like licks that actually I learned some stuff from him. So anyway, he's also good friends with Mark Lettieri, and he's one of the dudes. Okay. See you Thursday. Thanks, everybody.